Hello, true duelists. It's me, Craig Fee, back with another episode of Cooking with Craig, where I'm going to be showing you an old, tried and true family recipe of mine. By family recipe, I mean literally just me. There's no heritage to this deck. It came out in 2011. There's no family to speak of here. I was literally a child. Moving on. Today I'm bringing you Merlantian. Or maybe it's Mermail. Maybe it's just water. I'm bringing you this deck. Look at this. We're going to get into it. We're not going to delay anymore. Here is a build you can take to locals to lose immediately because this deck's 12 years old and your chances of winning with it are also 12 years old. But you know what? That's not why we play Yu-Gi-Oh! We play Yu-Gi-Oh! For the cool cards, and we got some of them. So in today's recipe, I'm bringing you not just one, but two copies of Mermail Abyss Megalo. Now, this is a card you want to be careful with when it comes to adding to your recipe. It's a strong start. This card does pack a punch with the opportunity to attack twice and set off Neptabyss, and it offers a lot of play searching Mikazuchis and Abyss Spheres depending on what it is you're doing here. So there's an argument to be made that you should only have one in there, but you know me. When it comes to two, I'm staying true. So I'm going to go ahead and add two copies of Megalo into mine, mix my recipe here, because I just think that's going to leave the most impact in your flavor. Up next, we're playing, of course, one copy of Abystius. And by one copy, I of course mean three. If you'd like to lose, you can just play one. But when it comes to building, make sure you only had it one at a time. You never want to have too many Abystius in the hand at one moment. We don't want too much of it. There's only one search per turn, and yeah, we play three because you need to see. That's a fact. It's just a rhyme, so it's true. But two in the opener, that's an opener. That's what we always say back in school. You're lying, I'm not. But Abystius isn't just good for being Teus. It also is good for what it searches, namely Abyss Gut. Now I play two because why not? I think it adds a nice bit of variety to your build to have a second search off Teus to revive something else. I think that works beautifully, so I throw two in just like Megalo. Two to true, that's what it do. And that makes up the Mermail portion of our recipe here. You don't want to go too heavy on the Mermail. It's Merlantian, as it was once known. We need a variety. We need a mixture, a collaboration. This really needs to blend together. We can't have Atlanteans overpowering Mermails or vice versa. So that's it for Mermails. Let's get on to our Atlanteans. Let's start with the Atlantean to lead them all. Dragoons. It's an easy three. This is the core of our recipe here. Recipe because this is a mess. No, we want to see this as often as possible. We've got four so that when it mixes in with the Bahamuts and the Toads, it just offers a variety of plays. It pairs beautifully with the Dweller to really bring out the strength of the deck and really rise the flavors up to the top. And you know, it searches so many of our cards. It just really does pair beautifully with so much of the deck. Instant three of, definitely throw that in as soon as you can. Now I play the Lone Marksman because, well, why wouldn't you? 14 in, go for the win. That's been a tried and true strat since 2012, baby. But I can understand why you maybe don't like it. This is a bit of spice. Not everyone can handle as much spice as this skin tone. Second time I'll make that joke in these videos. But still, if you don't want two copies of, or one copy of Marksman, you can throw in three of Infantry. Now I'm playing two to round out my Atlantean package here. It's a great card. The extra normal, the popping of a face-up card, it clears boards, it gets you combos going. It just really is a great added bit of texture to your recipe. It's easily viable as a three of. I'm playing two because I can. And the Atlantean himself, the Prince, Neptabyss. You know it's a three of. You know we're just throwing that shit in there. We don't give a fuck because it's Neptabyss. This card's a one card OTK. This card's what you need it to be. It revives Dragoons, it lets Megalo attack twice, it sends any card to the deck as cost, which means that you can send Dragoons to search as cost, and even if you get ashed, no, I'm still searching, sonny. That's what's up with Neptibus. This is literally just a dude. It's a man. All the other Atlanteans are like monsters, and this is just Greg. Why? Because it's too good to be just a regular monster. It's a whole ass man, and we are absolutely putting 3 in. And what better card complements with Neptibus than Diva? Again, another 3 of. This is your ash bait. This was great Hulk material once upon a time, and it's, again, a core piece of our recipe. The succulence, the succulence that Diva can add to your core, it really raises the pastry, so to say. It makes sure it gets that flakiness in it or some other cooking recipe, because Diva is a normal summon Neptibus and Link 2 and so much more. It's a fantastic card, and we're absolutely playing it at 3. And up next, you know.
Austauschfrosch.
There you go, that'll fix it. Ronin's dead, and so is my will. But you know what? Swap send a swap, and Anemone can get you to Toad. You don't even need Ronin to have Toad access in our deck, and so we're definitely throwing in not just 1, not just 2, but 3 copies of the boy into our deck, and that is going to be it for our little schwope. Our
Austauschfrosch.
Thank you, Google. Now, up next is a bit of my personal spice. This is not a standard card, but I love it for a number of reasons. I'm playing Tenyi Spirit's Shithana, 2 of it. In fact, this has a lot of variety in our recipe, because it's not just about strong flavors coming together. Sometimes you need a little bit of salt in there, just a pinch of it, even when making a cake's icing, because you need that little tiny bit of saltiness in it to really pop up the rest of the flavors. It's a small world bridge. It's a level 4 without your normal to help you make Dweller or Bahamut. There's variety in this card, and I personally really like it. Another 2 of, we've got, of course, Aqua Spirit. This is a level 4 without your normal. Easy access to Bahamut and Dweller, and what else needs to be said? It's extension, and it's a needed bit of umami to our flavor here, wouldn't you say? And for some one-ofs, we've got a Lapis Dragon, just for a little bit of oomph and some tuner flair, and of course Moulin Glacia, because disrespecting hand, but somehow not banned. That's what that card's about. These 2 cards add a good bit of texture to our recipe here, and I'll give you an extra bit of crunch as you go in for the kill. For the spell lineup, you won't believe what I'm starting with. It's Monster Reborn. It's just an extender. It really just kind of adds a little bit of gooiness to your recipe, wouldn't you say? 1 for 1 is up next, because Neptibus. Really, this is just an extra little bit of salt to pair with Nepti, and that's what it's all about. We've also got a singular Cult by the Grave. These are all just little added bits of, you just like to see it, a little bit of garnishing into our core here. We've also got our Mizuchi, because it's a Megalo Search 800. That's a big punch, son. That's what it's all about. And of course, 3 copies of Small World. There is not a single monster that Small World can't make into another monster in this deck. Everything we're playing is water, and thanks to Shithana being a worm, it's almost guaranteed that you can get any card from any of your cards. Now, it can't necessarily get you Dragoon when you need it, but 9 out of 10 ain't bad, wouldn't you say? And last for our spells, we're playing 3 copies of Deep Sea Aria. This is Pseudo Rhoda. Now, I might actually trim down on this. I've been doing this same recipe, eating this same meal year after year since we got this card, and let me tell you, it don't feel as good as I think it should. Every time I add it, I'm like, yep, that's a nice bit of oomph to this, a little pop, a little bit of extra ease down the throat as I swallow this meal of playing this deck year after year. And every time I get it into this, it's just like, wow, maybe that should have been something else. But it is still a searcher, so it's not the worst thing we can be playing. I just don't know these days. And rounding out our list, we've got triple, fuck you, impermanence. Because adding a little bit of impermanence to your meal truly means you get to appreciate it. The fact that it ends makes it all the more delicious. And that makes up the core of our deck. So, you know what we do next? We throw all that in a pan, pick this sucker up, and we're gonna put this bad boy in the oven. I'm gonna leave that in there for right up until we take it out. But in the meantime, we can get cooking on a little bit of extra snack to go complement our meal here, and we're gonna take a look at the extra deck. The extra deck truly is an added extra bit of oomph to your builds, and so I like to play an extra bit of oomph in mine. That is to say, I don't know, I just like these cards and they were expensive and I own them, so fuck you, I'm playing them, don't at me. Gaios, the big guy. Monster Negation is a delicious end board, and it's not hard to get with Megalos and Teus. We're also playing the tried and true Bahamut, because access to Toad, oh yeah, that's gold. Dweller is phenomenal with Dragoon Searching, a Toad for the negate and recovery from the grave, and the best card I own, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Unquestionably one of my favorite cards, and oh, so beautiful. I love it. I don't care if it's not good. I'm playing it. Eat my ass. I also played Dragite because, why not? Why not? If you're wondering how the hell I get into something like Dragite, or maybe even White Oral Whale, these 8s, well, let me tell you, Sonny, it's quite easy when you're playing a copy of Brionac, because you just like Brionac. That's what's up. I like Brio, and so that sticks for me-o. Brio, Diva, and Nepta is Trish. Son of a bish. I'm playing. For our Link monsters, the tried and true, we're playing Abysslacia. It's an easy card to get in to the end board, and it's an extra bit of searching for Teus if by some unfortunate chance you didn't open it. I also like Mistar Boy for generic Link climbing purposes, and Anemone is a fantastic card for a number of reasons in this deck. It helps swap to be able to make Toads without the, schwaup. We've got Unicorn to add a little bit of variety into our builds because no one else is playing that. And then for my end boards, we've got Appaloosa and Access Code when punching. And my personal extra bit of spice, Zealantis. This is one of the few decks that can really abuse Zealantis because we're playing all water monsters in the main, but the opponent isn't. And if we're under, say, I don't know, a Coral Anemone lock, and we can revive all our monsters, but not the opponents, that's funny. And that's my extra bit of spice in our extra deck. So you just pour that all in together, mix it all up, throw it in on top of your regular deck, and then you're good to go. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I threw that while I'm talking. That'll butcher the audio. Whoops. I'm keeping it. Don't at me. My name's Craig Fee. Hit subscribe. Let's all have a good time.